A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Good morning. In a dramatic turn of events, the New York Police Department, NYPD, arrested dozens of pro-Palestinian activists who occupied part of Columbia University's main library yesterday. This incident unfolded following an hours-long standoff, reminiscent of the student anti-war protests that swept through the Ivy League institution last year. Claire Shipman, the university's acting president, stated that the decision to call in the NYPD was made after protesters refused to vacate the premises despite warnings of disciplinary action and potential arrest for trespassing. Video footage circulating on social media depicted protesters being led out of the building in handcuffs, with reports indicating that around 75 individuals were arrested during the operation. The Trump administration has intensified its crackdown on student demonstrators involved in campus protests, recently releasing Mohsen Madawi, a Palestinian green card holder and Columbia student who was detained for his activism, and Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist and Columbia graduate who remains in custody following his arrest in March. Shipman justified the university's decision to involve law enforcement by emphasizing, "Requesting the presence of the NYPD is not the outcome we wanted, but it was absolutely necessary to secure the safety of our community." She labeled the protesters' actions as outrageous. In response to the arrests, Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced on social media that the visa statuses of the individuals involved would be reviewed, further complicating the situation for those arrested. Meanwhile, tensions are rising internationally as Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif vowed to avenge the deaths of 31 individuals killed in missile attacks by the Indian Air Force. Sharif declared, "We make this pledge, that we will avenge each drop of the blood of these martyrs," amid claims from Pakistan that they successfully shot down 12 Indian drones overnight. The Pakistani military spokesperson accused India of yet another blatant military act of aggression, as the government condemned India's strikes on 9 sites in Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Punjab. India, on the other hand, justified its military actions as retaliation for a previous attack in Indian-administered Kashmir that resulted in the deaths of 25 Hindu tourists and their guide, accusing Pakistan of harboring militant organizations responsible for such violence. In a separate but equally significant event, black smoke billowed from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel yesterday, indicating that the 133 cardinals inside had failed to elect a new pope on the first day of conclave. The cardinals, who had sworn an oath of secrecy, began the voting process at approximately 5:45 p.m. local time, and after a tense wait, the black smoke was visible at 9:05 p.m., signaling that the search for the next pope would continue. U.S. intelligence agencies have reportedly been directed to increase their surveillance activities in Greenland, reflecting Donald Trump's ongoing ambition to acquire the territory. Additionally, a federal appeals court ruled that Ramesa Öztürk, a Turkish Tufts University student detained in Louisiana for her criticism of the school's stance on Israel, should be returned to New England for hearings regarding her rights. Today, ceremonies across Europe will commemorate the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe V-Day, while Chinese President Xi Jinping is visiting Russia to attend a military parade in honor of Russia's Victory Day anniversary. In a troubling development, Canadian police have reduced their search efforts for 2 children missing in the woods for 6 days, citing low odds of finding them alive. In Uganda, food rations for 1 million people have been completely cut off this week due to a funding crisis within the UN World Food Program, exacerbated by Donald Trump's freeze on U.S. aid spending earlier this year. The World Food Program has reported that malnutrition levels in Uganda have reached critical levels as a result. In the UK, a year has passed since teachers at a school in St. Albans urged parents not to give younger children smartphones, highlighting the challenges of online bullying that students face today. A recent study from World Weather Attribution indicates that a devastating storm that struck the central Mississippi Valley in early April was intensified by human-caused climate change, making it 9% more intense and 40% more likely. Lastly, a new tool for migratory connectivity in the ocean, MECO, has been launched, visualizing remarkable animal journeys, including that of female loggerhead turtles swimming over 600 miles from the east coast of Florida to their feeding grounds. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.